Anyway, besides that.
Wait, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, heck.
I honestly love this so far.
This is amazing.
I like when you were just like, I get into the car, and you already knew what you were going to do.
Everyone was like, oh no. It was just a dread from everywhere in the room.
I mean, I think that's funny.
It was great.
I'm honestly curious to figure out what video he found.
Right. I'm excited. I built a gazebo.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so John Henry says, John Henry says, with his flip phone, he like clicks to a video that was sent to him and turns it so both of you see it, and it's a YouTube video, and it just. The title of the video is... Oh, what?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me, Royalty? What were you saying? We're about to say, Chip?
So, Royalty and I were talking when you were gone, and we both love the collective, oh my god, whenever Rava was like, I get into the car. Everybody knew where it was going.
Here's the thing, that's not what I thought you were gonna go with, though.
What'd you think I was gonna do?
I thought you were, like, about to outsmart my sorta pseudo puzzle. I thought you were literally just about to, like... It was sort of a puzzle of, like, getting out of it. It wasn't that difficult.
I just used the car.
Yeah. Like, what I expected you guys to do was, like, use your powers to, like, get over the wall. But what I thought you were going to do was not crash it into him, but I thought you were just going to, like, open the driver's side door and climb through and get out the passenger door.
That's what I thought to do. But then I was like... Honestly, like, whenever I do this, my brain goes into Ravakin mode. And so, oh, dude.
Yeah, you hear him.
I hear him. My brain went, oh, I can just get out through the car, and then I stopped, and then I was like, I can hit this guy with a car. It was like being enlightened.
Oh, Duke, why are you so excited, baby? I took you for a nice long walk.
He loves you. That's why he excited.
Oh, give me a hug, baby. Ah, don't bite me while I'm hugging you. He's biting the inside of my elbow.
Oh no.
He's not even biting it. He's like nibbling it. Fuck, that hurts. Okay, I got him in a headlock.
Fantastic. I like that that's what you have to do to get your dog to chill.
Oh, Duke's trying to lick the microphone now.
I love you too, Duke.
Duke, what if I put the headset on you, Duke? Duke. Oh, headset on. Nope, he doesn't like it. He does not vibe with that.
That is not what he is about.
Do you have to go potty or something, Duke? Oh, Jesus Christ! He nearly slapped me in the dick. That's okay.
Welcome back.
Hey, so what was the video about? I left like almost midway through. Explanation, I think.
No worries. So the video is, you see the title of it, and I think it says something like, old couple gets wrecked by random scarecrow.
No.
And you just like watch the video. You're watching the video, and it's like another video of the scare of Corn Man flying through the air, but you see him start to like come down, and the camera follows him until he lands in the street and crashes right into like an old couple that's walking down the sidewalk.
Oh.
Just full on collides with them and takes them out.
Are they dead?
I don't know. He's a scarecrow, dude. Like the reason why he went flying that much, even though he took very little damage, he's like light, dude. He weighs like 10 pounds.
All right.
But he's just like the scarecrow just stands up and looks around, spots the camera, and just like, you are in my fields as well, and fucking throws a piece of corn at him. And then the camera gets covered in vines.
Oh boy.
It's like a live stream.
And John Henry says, so, first of all, cameraman, old couple, completely fine.
Oh, okay.
But because of that video, we know where he landed, and unless he threw himself again, we know where he probably is. See, he's heading out to the suburbs.
Wow.
And that's not good, because from what we can tell, he's got plant manipulation. And, well, in the suburbs, there's a lot more grass than there is in the city.
That is true.
Good for me then. More pottery.
What is it with you and pottery? I just gotta ask.
I'm not gonna answer.
Aren't you gonna try to sell him some?
I don't know if that's a conversation I'm ready to have in front of you.
Alright.
But John Henry says, I would like you to come with me. I'm a B class, but I think I could use your help, especially considering he's starting to get a home field advantage in this whole fight.
Okay. You had me at come.
There's something wrong with both y'all, isn't there?
He's just lonely.
I am. I am. Very. What was I actually gonna say, though? Like, legitimately, though, we should probably get seen by somebody with healing powers, or like a doctor.
Oh, no, remember, Berber Boy is is your safe house, so you guys are healed up, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we Gucci.
So, by the way, am I
yeah.
just gonna live with Rava and Joanna now?
I mean, you can live wherever you want.
Yeah.
Rava just happens to have followed Joanna home. And now she just lives there occasionally.
Yeah. She's a gremlin.
Okay, at the very least, I'll, like, visit.
Yeah.
Because Joanna's cool. Plus, I helped her out with her manager problem a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's very funny.
But John... John Henry, like, says, so, you're coming with me. What about you? And points to Rava.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of the most Rava thing to do in this situation.
Screech.
I would think something along the lines of, fine, but you're gonna have to buy me dinner. I'm poor.
Fine, but you're gonna have to pay me.
Yeah. He's just like, that is literally what we do.
Yeah, it is your job.
But,
that was a given.
Oh, okay.
Rava looks at Joanna, but she's like, she doesn't want to go, but she figured Joanna would make her anyways.
Yeah.
But she just kind of looks over at Pseudo Mom.
And Joanna just kind of gives her a thumbs up.
Fine.
Oh.
It's not like I'm not getting paid.
And John is like, perfect. Now, let's get a move on before the corn man throws himself again.
Cool.
And
Corn in front of him. Sorry.
I don't know what his reaction would be to that, honestly. I think that would activate like his berserker state.
She just walks out in the middle of the road while all of them are dying, and it's like last minute in the fight, and she's just like, "Hey, corn man," and then pulls out a raw piece of corn and just eats it.
Why does that sound like something? I mean, that sounds like something she would do.
Yeah.
Duke, you still got your bone. Hi. Oh,
Bones.
you got. Oh, you want it, baby boy? Duke. Oh. Get it.
To the suburbs.
Yeah. So you head out to the suburbs in this world's equivalent of that one sort of taxi service with the German name. You guys hop in a Zoomer.
I hate that.
Yeah, they're these green. They're
Is that the opposite of a boomer?
Yes.
No, it's
Like,
supposed to
you
be a
just hop
ripoff of
inside
Uber.
a Gen Z.
It's supposed to be a ripoff of Uber.
Oh.
But like it also like it just says Zoomer sponsored by Zoom on it, and they have like one of those like placards at the top, like a taxi would. Wait, why am I doing all this? You just get in a fucking taxi. It's New York. What am I doing with my life?
Making it complicated.
Yeah, you just get in a taxi. No time for world building. You get in a taxi, you head out to the suburbs.
Valid. Oh man. Not the Zoomers.
And then you guys arrive in the suburbs and you immediately notice a problem.
Oh.
That is the very, 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 very large corn stalks. All down the street.
How large?
Well, calm down. We don't know for a fact that's him.
How large are the corn?
Like size of houses.
Oh. Maybe there's just like a pro gardener here.
Well, are you talking about how large?
Rava
What was that?
literally like
I'm
kind of
just kidding.
stands there and then yells, "Hey, corn man, we're at your door."
And you just hear very far in the distance, like, just like, nobody enters my maze.
She steps like on the corn. She can't step on it. She just puts her foot on it and is like, "I'm stepping on your corn."
And you hear way in the distance, no.
Wait, if you step on the corn, does he take damage?
I think it just pisses him off.
Oh. I thought it was like maybe like a poison ivy sort of situation. Where if somebody steps on like some of her plants, she takes damage.
I don't think she's
Okay.
connected to her plants.
Well, remember in the Arkham game she is.
Oh, that's fair.
She'll be like,
Anyways.
my babies! And she just kind of... She
Dies.
vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so... Okay, so we know that it's him. Is there... Wait, now that I think about it, is there any way we can specially interact with the corn? And by that I mean somehow use it against him? I don't know.
You'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, you have
I
to figure
guess
that out
so.
as you go, because
Alright.
you look down, there's like a path into the corn, and you should have expected this the second I mentioned corn. It's a corn maze.
Okay, so I asked John Henry if he can fly.
And he says, no, but I can do you one better. You
Oh?
not got anything sharp?
Rather hit him with a knife.
I don't mean to be rude, but do you got something like a touch bigger?
A touch bigger.
Give me a minute. She
No.
walks over to like.
Does she like whittle down a car door into a big knife or something?
She goes over to the nearest dirt patch, and what do I need to roll?
This would be definitely proficiency.
Okay. I got a 20.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. What do you make?
How, she she looks back and is like, "How big?"
And he reaches across his back and pulls out like his sledgehammer. About this big, but like, I don't know, like an axe, scythe, something sharp, a
Give me,
sword.
Like 20 minutes.
All right. Oh, I think that was an earthquake.
Ooh, spooky.
I do. Tired baby.
Brava comes back and she's got like
A balloon animal.
it's the same knife. It's just bigger.
So, just a very uncomfortable to use machete.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like awkwardly takes it in two hands, like, yeah, this'll work, I guess.
She's just covered in like filth.
Do you want to like rinse yourself off, or
Like, no.
it's like,
Just do your thing.
all right. And
He's not
He-
even gonna question where the hell she got it.
nope. But, he just like hefts it up over his shoulder, walks over to the corn, to like walks down the path of it over to the nearest wall and just starts hacking into it. And
Stab.
it's no, he like starts like slashing at it and slowly but surely cutting his way through all this corn.
Ooh. The endurance.
Yeah. And just like, so unfortunately with the way we're doing this, I don't know how deep this is, but if it's too deep, I don't know how much of a hand I'm gonna be in the fight, but I'll do my best anyways.
What is it exactly that you do?
Like I said, my hero name is Steel Driver, and my power, according to Divine and all that official mumbo jumbo, I have enhanced stamina.
Oh.
Oh. The literal enhanced stamina. Okay.
Basically, I could outpace a car if I need to.
Is
So-
that in all aspects of your life?
I'm gonna fucking stab you.
I'm asking, like, can he run track and field really well?
Well, I'm not the fastest, but I just keep going.
Yeah. Keep on going. Fight the good fight, man. I mean, that'll be pretty useful in a lot of things. Sometimes you just can't stop, won't stop, you know?
Rava
I don't know
looks
what
more
I'm doing.
tired the more he talks.
I don't know what to do here.
I like to think they're the entire way through the maze while he's doing while this guy is like chopping down the maze and stuff. He's just talking.
Yeah. Like, so what are you doing afterward? You know?
Not even. He just keeps talking and nobody knows what to do about it.
Alright. We're doing this, man.
But first, guys,
Mm.
there's something you need to do. You see, this is your first puzzle in the game, and you have a very important task. Are you up to the challenge?
No, let's do it.
Your task. Solve this.
All the maze?
Solve
Checking the
that.
text.
Oh boy. I found the way.
Can you handle this insurmountable task?
Probably not.
I am the dungeon master.
No, in actuality, I did figure it out.
Are you guys actually solving it? I was mostly joking.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sitting here with a little drawing app on my
I
phone.
solved it. I solved it.
I do actually want to see your two solutions, so yeah.
I don't have like something to like write it.
Oh.
I was just tracing it like with my like finger. I was like, okay. But
Yeah,
I
I
did
literally
it.
just looked up child maze, and this is the second result. You gotta help Sparky find his bone.
oh dear.
Chip, where's Sparky's bone?
Oh my god.
She's like, I don't know. So, I don't know.
She's getting really into it.
Alright, I'm sending my solution.
I can't believe you actually fucking did it.
I sent it.
I mean, you know what? That is fair considering how you're using John Henry.
You want to go to Mackay's? You better let's go.
It'd be like that, you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess that is technically the solution because of how you're using John Henry, so.
Eat corn.
That's such a Rava answer to it.
I thought I'd try to stay in character for it.
Rava would be the type to like get like Rava's the type to like go to like the spaghetti factory and get one of those placemats with these mazes on it and just like help Sparky find his bone. And when the waitress comes around next time, she just sees that Rava is in big letters with like a blue crayon just said "fuck Sparky."
She's like 2 when this happens, and her mom's just like, she's so creative.
So dumb.
Rava's mom is doing her best.
Look,
Anyways.
Sparky.
What do we actually do, Jackson?
No. You just make it through because Chip did find the solution. Royalty.
Oh,
Eat
she did.
corn.
Yeah, Chip
I saw
found.
that where she
Yeah,
just eat corn in the maze.
Yeah, that's actually a solution because that's how you're using John Henry essentially.
Yeah.
Defeat corn with mind. Sorry.
But yeah, he's just like hacking his way through it, and at the end, what's it called? Um, oh, at the end, you reach this, like, basically a crop circle in the center of the maze. Hi, Duke. Hi, buddy. Yes, hi. I'm talking, Duke. Okay. You reach a crop circle at the center of the maze, and in the middle of it is, again, something that you really did not expect to see. And it's a barn.
Is it made of corn?
It is actually not made of corn.
Interesting.
That's like the main reason why it's so unexpected. It's like a full, like, period accurate barn.
All right. From like 1886.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, this shit is old.
Okay. So, who has a match?
And John Henry, who's like panting kind of heavily, says, I left them back there, and like turns around to like start heading back to the beginning of the maze. But it turns out, while you guys weren't paying attention, the maze closed up behind you.
Oh. Never mind, don't go back. Let's just go forward.
And he says, yeah, I wasn't going back for them now.
Yeah, no, never mind. Go ahead. Keep on trucking there. Anyway.
Rava goes to the barn. Like, walks up to it.
Yeah, the door of the barn is slightly ajar. I don't think that you'll be able to, like, I think there's certain things that will be like actions restricted depending on like certain stats. So like even with a good brawn roll, you couldn't say like lift John Henry over your head. But let's see, what's Rava's brawn? Oh, I don't know.
Walks up to the barn.
Yeah, I don't know if she's. The thing is, I don't know if you're strong enough to open up the barn doors.
Are they heavy?
Well, they are very old. They are mostly closed, and they are much larger than you. So yes.
Rava knocks. Like, hey, corn man.
You hear kind of shifting inside, and John Henry just kind of like walks up behind you and like eases the door open a bit so you can get inside.
Thanks.
Oh boy.
Corn man.
Yeah. Does Justin go in too?
Yeah, do I? Do we just open the doors or no?
Yeah, we just opened that shit up.
Okay, so is John Henry in the barn with Rava?
Yeah, he goes in too.
Okay, well, I don't want to be the only one outside, so yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
All three of you are in there, and you see the corn man standing with his arms raised, like he's back facing to you in the middle of the barn.
Corn man?
And he puts his hand down, turns to you, says, "You two, and your strangely muscular friend.
You got that right.
Welcome to my home."
Like, 12
I'm
other
very-
people live on the street.
There
I-
do. What was that, Rote?
I said I'm very, very, very tempted to just do the meme like, damn bitch, you live like this. I'm so tempted.
Just walk. It smells like broken here.
I'm so tempted. Seriously, just damn bitch, you live like this? Oh man.
Says,
Okay, so
I am returning this place to its former glories. Your
you know,
machines have overrun this place, and I want my home back.
if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that typically whatever's in the past is not the best option. So we can't allow you to kill people, dude. That's not cool.
Hey, we are guests in this man's lovely establishment. Alright.
I wouldn't use the term lovely.
See, now you're just being mean.
He's killing people, or at least injuring them.
I mean, nobody's dead yet.
Yeah.
All he's done
What's a
really
hero's
is, like,
job?
as far as you know, you guys have done more damage by crashing the car, because the most he did was like malnourish people by like using their energy to make big corn.
This man's just got some corn.
Oh, is that how his power works?
Maybe...
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
man.
right. Yeah, I guess the
why.
jig is up he does have like a life drain ability to boost his corn. That's what he was saying, he was use you as
Corn
fertilizer.
boost.
Oh.
Booster. Sorry.
It's so dumb.
Hmm. Alrighty then.
But I have come to understand through my flight and my wandering to here that I am not in my world as I knew it. And I don't know what has happened here in my time gone. But I do know one thing. That I want to return home, and this is the best I can do.
Where?
Wait, so
Where were you?
how
where
did
was
you
your
even
home?
get here?
What was that, Chip?
Where the fuck was your home?
My home. Okay, so I think he'll answer both of your questions right now. My home was here. It is the foundation with which you have built your new world.
So you
I
were
was-
like,
I'll
What
be
was
right
that?
back.
Okay. What was that, Chip?
I said, so you were like a corn farmer.
I grew many things, but maize was my bread and butter, as it were.
I mean,
Dude.
hey, I get it. I do some independent work myself.
But the problem was that people kept breaking onto my land and stealing the fruits of my labor. I got upset.
Valid.
And I'll wait for Royalty to get back for this.
Okay.
Because it get big.
Oh lord.
Duke, stop biting me, you psycho!
Yes.
Do you hear him? Duke, stop breathing at me like that.
Okay, back.
Okay. Where was I? This was my
sorry.
land, and maize was my bread and butter. But the locals of this town kept breaking onto my farm and stealing the fruits of my labor, and I got very upset. And I will admit, I did get a bit out of hand, but after all was said and done, my crops grew much better, and the townspeople left me alone. After
You
a
murdered
while,
people for coming onto your house farm.
like I said, I did take things too far, admittedly.
If you could have asked, somebody could have probably built you a new house somewhere else or put you back in time. But murdering people is not the answer, man.
Can't go back to where I came from because they dealt with me. Eventually they started to notice a number of their own going missing, And one night, they beat me, dragged me out of my house, and propped me up in the middle of my own fields.
You did murder, but alright.
Oh, bless you,
So
baby.
they sent you. So they sent you forward in time because they didn't want to deal with you.
No, I think he's like a ghost.
Oh. Huh. That is taken the form of sentient corn. Okay.
I think the corn is metaphorical.
I mean, I guess. Well, because he's made of literal corn.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, like, so, big question is, like, are you a ghost?
I don't believe I am longer a member of the living, no, but I don't understand if I didn't do something bad, then why did I not ascend to the heavens? And if I truly did something so terrible, then why was I not cast into the depths?
That is a very valid question. Questions that we do not necessarily have the answers to. John Henry, do you know anybody who could answer any of these questions?
I'm actually an atheist.
I didn't mean that. I meant, does anybody specialize in the paranormal and the IHA?
I mean, there's a few who are ghosts, but I don't think we have the capacity to deal with something like this.
So then what are we supposed are we supposed to kill him, or are we just, like, how does this work? Like,
You say
You can't
kill
really
him,
be-
and the corn man turns to you and says, "Now, I don't quite understand what's going on here anymore, but
me
I
either.
do know one thing. Either way, I am to walk this earth again, and if that is my lot in life, I will not lose my chance again." And he raises his hands up, and the walls of the barn start to buckle.
Alright, so we're getting the heck out of that barn for now. I am, at least. Shoot.
Um,
We're gonna go at the very least outside of the barn.
yeah. So at least Justin runs to the door and tries to push it open, but, well, first of all, he's weaker than Rava.
Yeah.
That's not like physically.
No, I know,
You're a
literally.
string bean. So you do. I say that, like, because of, like, adrenaline, you do manage to push it open a bit, but, like, the glimpse you see outside is stalks of corn, like, wrapped around the barn and keeping the door closed. Oh, Duke, bless you, baby boy. Sneezy. Sneeze, baby.
Okay.
Rob, what do you do?
I look at the corn man and be like, so you're just gonna kill us?
I am not sure, and the stalks around the barn loosen a bit. I'm
You
not.
don't have to do all this. We can just sit down and figure out what the hell we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can get you like professional help or something. I don't know. The IHA does a lot of shit. I do a lot of shit, so I don't know if you've ever been to Australia, but I have a pretty nice place there.
The stalks loosen a bit more.
Like, I don't know. I just think that if you're given a second chance and you're gonna use it to take over people who didn't even know you existed, previous homes, even though technically you were here first, but you were dead. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think you're jumping the gun.
Roll charm.
Okay. Hang on.
And keep in mind, you do have 2 charm.
I was gonna be like, I don't know, but like I'm sure I could put in a good word of charm.
I got an 8.
Uh-oh. The corn starts to tighten a little bit, and he says, "What will I do then? I'm forced to wander this world in this form. What am I supposed to do with myself then?"
Well, we can figure that out, but you can't figure anything out if we're dead. You see what I'm saying? Like,
So I guess. Okay, so maybe I guess I can also say something maybe a little bit easier, maybe because I have higher charm, but like basically telling him that whether he can find his place elsewhere or if he needs to be moved on, we can find some sort of closure, but like using an entire neighborhood as your like labyrinth for corn isn't necessarily a super productive way to use the energy, and instead we can use that energy to probably find a solution to his current dilemma.
I
I don't know.
think that he lets it, that the corn unravels from around the barn. The barn is still very, very creaky.
oh no.
So I ask him if he knows what year it is.
I don't.
If he knows what year it is.
I don't.
Okay. So I
Well,
don't know
we
what year
can-
this takes place, but like depending obviously on what the year is, like I don't know how long he's been walking the earth. I don't know for who did it to him. Like I don't know. But I'm sure we can find somebody to do something. That's mainly the gist of it.
Okay. Now, Chip, roll charm with advantage.
I got another 11.
Another 11. Wait, do you know what advantage is?
No.
You roll it twice and then you take the bigger number.
Wow. Okay. So 11, and then there's 14.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that he does, like, lower his hands finally, and, the barn is not doing too good, but it is, like, you can get out now. And I think John Henry does, like, open up the door. So you guys can get out. What do you do?
I say let's walk out together so we can find a solution to this problem.
The corn man stands up and walks over to the two of you, and then past you, and out the door.
Okay. So we follow.
Yeah. Rob was just kind of chilling. Following,
As you exit the barn, you see what's it called? you see a oh, okay, sorry. I don't know why I just lost my mind right there. You see the corn around you start to shrink and wither away. And as you start to walk further away from the barn, it eventually gives in and completely collapses before the wood making up the barn just dissipates.
First, let's see if we can find you a new barn.
She stops and is like, I think we should just take this guy back to the IHA and let them deal with it.
And Cornman nods and says, I would like that. I would like to speak with somebody who can help me find my place in this new world.
Okay.
She looks at John Henry, gives him like a finger gun snap thing, and is all like, "All right, that's you, bro."
And John Henry smiles and nods and puts his hand on the cornman's shoulder and looks to you and said, "You know, you two are way, way better than I initially thought."
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment
He said,
or something else.
No offense. I mean, you, never mind. But
If you tell
you know,
anybody I talked to him about, I talked to the Scarecrow man about his feelings, I'm gonna find your house.
I don't doubt that. And lips are sealed.
But first, before we go, are there any civilians trapped in the corn?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
Hey,
So then we're good.
Yeah.
Corn man already improving.
And John Henry hails another taxi, and with the corn man.
Or taking a criminal in a taxi.
I mean, it's New York.
It's New York.
I mean, I guess.
And the two of them head off into the metaphorical sunset.
Metaphorical sunset. Corn man, problem solved. Rava punches Mr. Beanpole on the shoulder and says, "Not bad." You're Mr. Beanpole.
And I think that's mostly the end of that adventure. You guys handled that really well.
I was
Huzzah.
expecting to battle, but instead it was more like a Steven Universe episode.
I honestly figured that you guys were going to battle too, and then you, like, legit talked him down.
Like, talk about your feelings. And he did. Like,
Yeah, you guys handled that.
I'm surprised.
Good job all around.
Huzzah!
You know, I'm hoping we could, like, rehabilitate him, and he could potentially just, like, maybe, big maybe, because he still did some bad stuff, join our team if he ends up turning to the good side.
Oh.
He could be a hero. He could get some. He could get some non-people based fertilizer. He could get a new farm. He has lots of potential.
Yeah. I mean, and plus, them beating him and dragging him and, like, I guess, putting him on, like, a scarecrow thing in his own fields is kind of messed up. I mean, he did hurt people, but, like, that, I mean, that's still kind of messed up. So, like, as long as he turns a good, like, I guess if he turns good, like, I kind of want him to have his, like, farm and everything, like Chip was saying.
Yeah.
I support this man.
So, at the IHA, is there anybody with the specifications to do anything or have any knowledge about this? More than us, I'm sure.
There's two people, actually.
Okay.
See, since like the story story is basically over, I'll give a rundown about what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like he said, the corn man was actually a normal corn farmer who people just kept on stealing his shit.
Oh, okay.
Like
Jackson?
sorry, my controller died.
Oh.
But
I've been there.
what was the last thing I said?
He was a normal corn farmer, and people kept stealing his stuff.
Yeah, but they kept on stealing his crops, and he was probably fine with it at first, but, like, probably because they thought they could get away with it, they just kept on doing it until eventually it was becoming a real issue. Tried to tell him to stop, didn't work. He started murdering them and burying them in his fields.
That's a very high stake. That's 0 to 100 real quick. Hey,
We're
can you
talking
stop?
about the 1800s, though.
True,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, hey, can you stop like stealing my corn? No. Alright, fam, time for you to die. Like,
That is fair. Like, he could have built a fence, maybe.
he could have called the cops. Like,
Well, at that point, the cops were, as they still are, basically
Like-
the original like police forces were essentially mercenaries paid for by rich people to protect their property. And then eventually they became the police force we know today, which not much better, but anyways. The corn man killed them, and eventually townspeople figured out. They got upset, understandably, and they beat him to death and hung him up in his own cornfield like a scarecrow, where he died.
and I'm
And-
guessing that's why he takes the form
Yeah, and
of
then
a scarecrow almost.
yeah, and then
Why
somehow
did he come back?
that
We
is
actually
something
do
that
need
I
to figure out.
yeah, that is something you will need to figure out because I don't want to spoil that one.
Ooh.
But like his whole thing was the fireball thing was just a thing I like came up with on the fly. He probably can't do that too much. Probably, and he probably will almost never do that again after what Justin did to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
But his main two things were, like, you only got to see one of them once, because you guys only really directly attacked him once.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, you did directly attack him 3 times, but the other 2 times, the change wasn't as noticeable. He had 2 main things. One, plant manipulation and growth. And 2, a regeneration factor.
Oh. Okay.
But not so much he undid damage, so much as that, like, you couldn't really...
He got more corn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that part where Chip exploded him with the car, and he pulled himself back together.
More corn.
Yeah, exactly. He uses the power of the corn. Now, is he just limited to just corn? Maybe. But it doesn't matter because he can also create corn.
Valid.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'll be
not a
right back. I
All
tried
right.
to pee for the last 20 minutes.
Whip.
Okay.